Alrighty. Properties. Let's see it. Is it capture? Okay. Well, I'm aware now that this game capture can be very crap, so I will fix it. Properties. Let's see. It's not capturing Roblox. Hold up. Does that work? Nope. Gonna have to use window capture. Properties. Capture any full screen applications. Try that. Got this. This is full screen. It's as full screen as full screen gets, which means game capture is just never gonna work for me unless it's a Steam game. Let's go with window capture. And why I dislike window capture is it does not size up to where I want it to be. One last attempt at game capture then. Game capture. Properties. Limit captured frame rate. No. Capture a specific window. Capture window. No, I don't want to capture it. NZXT. Crazy. Should have experimented before I started this stream. But I was assuming it wasn't gonna bug out. Properties, one last thing, I guess. What the hell is that? Foreground. What's the hotkey? Hotkeys. Yeah, no, okay. We just disable you and put on window capture and size it to the best of my capabilities. Properties. Capture method is automatic. Yeah. Multi-adapter compatibility. Let's unlock window capture. Bad. You know, I use display capture. How about that? How will this display capture fit? This is what I'm looking at. This is the shit that be confusing me. That's window capture. I'm interested in moving. Display capture. Why is that so damn big? Cool. So you're staring at what I'm staring at. Works for me. Neato. Oh. There's been a lot of updates. Not a lot of updates. One big update. Still last touch this game on this account. So what I have is probably weak as hell. Nowhere near endgame now. Shit. Windowed it. 538. No, I'm having a lot of what's the word I'm looking for here? Window capture. You know, leave it at that. It's good enough. Nice shit. Is my stuff all leveled up? Close. I guess I'd be rating on the Doo-Doo Island raid. Let's see if I can rank up at least. I don't know why everything just doesn't want to work. Maybe I'd use display capture. Or not display. I want game capture to work. Game capture is nice. But does it want to work? No. Oh, am I watching? Okay, I'm watching on my one of my alternate accounts. Technically speaking, if I press subscribe, it should give a notification. I press subscribe. I'm seeing no notification. I'm gonna have to look up a video for that shit. So for now, if you subscribe, just say you subscribed. It'll pop up in the chat, right? Let's see if that works. Another test. I got the noise. Is it buried behind this? Oh, it is. It's not. I see it. One thing works. We're gonna hide this. I'm not a big fan of it right now. Alright. Probably don't have enough time. I'd win. Okay, yeah, we'll restart this so I don't lose on the rank up challenge, but I'm gonna rank up. I'm gonna rank up so I can do more damage and then try to get a beauty when the time comes around. That's my strat. And weapons are gonna be my main carry. Right now the game is very lean towards weapon DPS solely because in the end game of my account, the only thing that's really dealing damage is my weapon. Here's an example. Let's take these ants for example, or whatever is the strongest thing I've captured. Probably Genji, right? Genji N rank. This is a new rank. Really hard to get. At max level, does 10 trillion damage. Now that 10 trillion damage? Weak. That's not a lot of damage at all. It may seem like a lot of damage, but it's not. Once you get to the last couple of islands, it's not. Especially the dungeons, it's nowhere near not. That 10 trillion damage isn't gonna do much against enemies that are out here with like a couple hundred QA health consistently. That 10 trillion is not gonna do nothing. The weapons, though, the weapons are good. The weapon I currently had in my other account, for example, is at A rank. With the max sharpness enchant, that does around 1.5 QA, or 1.6, somewhere around there, right? That's way more damage than my entire team combined. My entire team combined only equals a couple trillion damage. Not only is it hard for me to get a better shadow to do more damage than just the ones I have currently, but even if I got a slightly better variant, they wouldn't even equal out to anywhere near that weapon damage. I'd be surprised if I can get anything to equal towards, 100 trillion total damage, which is a good amount of damage, yeah, for shadows. Shadows aren't doing anywhere near as much damage as these melee weapons. Melee weapons are the strat. They're the game plan. Once you get one of those, you start making a lot of progression. And then to really progress anywhere, to me, at least is what it feels like, is I just have to AFK while I'm sleeping. Just whip out an auto clicker and AFK the strongest enemy available for money. Just to get enough to slightly upgrade my rank of my weapon to do a little bit more damage, because that is the only thing that is doing damage. It's tragic. It really is, but that's how that works. It's just the weapons are way better. And you'd think with this 2x 0 chance, which is the Ant King from the Doo Island raid, I'd be arising more of him, but I don't know if that's actually an effect or if my luck is bad, because I still rarely arise him even on my main. So I'm wondering if this is a 2x like rank chance. Instead of getting his regular SS variant, you just have a higher chance of getting his SS, or not SS, his G rank. I think they might have added an N rank for him, not too sure. But I don't think it's 2x 0 Arise chance. I think it's 2x 0 rank chance. And with the current new weapons in the game and all the new stuff, a lot of people that are SS rank are just gonna walk up and they're gonna like one tap that Ant King. So getting in damage now is nowhere near as easy as it was before. Because even with my slight damage increase from getting these new ants, SS rank ants, it's just not worth it. Right now, I think the smart way to go about things is you're gonna ignore that extra equip and you're gonna go for that double cash. You don't even need double XP. What's the point of double XP if your shadows are not going to come anywhere near your weapon damage? So let's see how many tickets I have here. Tickets, 203. Once I get the 349 tickets, I think 2 times cash is really just the main strat. Nothing else really is equaling out to this weapon, or to what weapons are available. I mean, what else is there really to do here in Game Pass wise? Auto attacks, I mean, just rely on shadows and shit. Only until you need at this point would be a double cash and auto click. And then maybe insta destroy. That's about it. All those others doesn't really matter that much. Gems are easy to obtain and you don't need a lot of them to do a lot of things. So it's no point of the double gems, no point of the double XP when the shadows are bad, and there's no point of extra equip for shadows when shadows are bad. So just focus on that double cash. Free auto clicker if you want it. Not free auto, but you know, the slightly improved auto clicker if you want it, and then that's about it. Not really much else you gotta do there. Do I have enough DPS output to clear A rank? Because I don't think so. Maybe. Even when it's a big, very big maybe. Because ranking up is good. They've even added new ranks, so ranking up makes a big difference in your damage. So that's definitely something you want to do and take full advantage of, is your rank ups. Your rank ups are gonna be savior. I believe S rank I think is 30% damage total increase. And then SS rank, which is where I'm at my main, is a 60% potentially damage increase. I don't know how accurate that is, but it's nice. It's definitely a noticeable. So that's, once you are able to start clearing a rank up challenge, do so. My way of gauging if you're ready for the rank up is find the strongest enemy based off enemies that are spawned in, and see if you can like one tap it or kill it extremely fast. And if you can, you're ready for the rank up. If you can't, maybe you wait. That way you're not wasting time going through and then realizing, oh, I'm not strong enough to clear this as fast as I was hoping. Because last thing you want to do is sit in here and have to redo it after sitting here for the 9 minutes that you probably stayed in here trying to clear it. Just for you to realize, sheesh, I'm not going to be strong enough. And you could spend that time grinding up some cash, getting better weapons, doing any potential dungeons just for some tickets. That's the game. That's the boss player. That is the plan. Okay, I can one-shot boss. Maybe I can do another rank up. Here's an example. 27.67 bill. 27.67 and 72 mil on that. So we'll just remember 27.67 bill or whatever that was. 27.67 bill. We're just ranked up. It's gonna register the rank up now. Yeah, look at that. 27.67 bill went to 28.87 bill. May not seem like a lot, but it goes to places. The increase goes further. The amount of increase you get per rank up goes further and further as you get up there higher in ranks. It becomes more and more of a damage increase. So it is in fact very helpful. Let's see if I can do this one. Okay. $544 bill. You see this? See how long it's taking me to kill these guys? That's how I'm aware of my current strength. Can't do it. Can't do the rank up. If it's taking that long to kill one of those guys and I need to go through 20 rooms in 10 minutes, I can't do it. So instead, I don't see any current available dungeons. And I don't know if I'm strong enough to kill any of these Clover guys. But either way, I'm going to head over to the Clover Kingdom here. And I'm going to see if I can get anything weapon-wise that might actually help me. And just a thought, but I think they should scale these up based off your current money. Or maybe even just your rank from the rank up challenges. Basically something. They just need to scale it up off from something. 10 million becomes very little very, very fast. Alright, let's see. Weapon shop. 14 billion, that's 66 million damage. Not even worth that. But, let's see. Do I have any dust? Don't. That's what you're AFK for. You can enchant with dust. But for right now, let's see if I can just kill off a few of these guys for some cash. These guys are pretty mid for cash, but it's kind of what I can, well, only thing I can really handle at the moment. Yeah, there's not a whole lot one can do early on. Early on is when the shadows are going to matter just a bit. And when I mean just a bit, they're going to matter a lot early on. Once you're strong enough to start taking stuff on like the second to last island and the last island is when weapons are really going to start making a noticeable difference. But for now, you got to rely on these shadows. Okay. 9.3 billion. 1.8 trillion. Yeah, look at that. That's about as much health as a queen. So here's what we'll do. We'll go run all the way over here. $33 trillion health. We'll see how much the strongest enemy here, aside from the brute form, gives. And then in 6 minutes when a dungeon pops up, if it's anything we can clear regardless of rank, we're gonna clear it for some tickets. Some tickets and any potential dust. Because we are in need of that double money game pass. Maybe in a future update they will you know, balance things out more between weapons and shadows. Make shadows just a little bit more useful towards endgame. Because right now shadows are kind of pointless towards endgame. I could quite literally unequip my entire team and I wouldn't lose out on really any DPS whatsoever because of how they've got it currently made. So it's like, you know, what's the point? It did add SS rank portals though. So if we see any SS ranks pop up, we can try them. Or with my current strength, I'd probably only be able to clear an SS rank. Maybe level and a brum. Somewhere around there. Brum. Leaf. Maybe a brum, but mainly probably solar level and area and leaf village area. And why would want to do that is for that extreme, but nonetheless minuscule chance of potentially rising a G rank from them SS rank units. Because a G rank, regardless of what it is, aside from, of course, like, maybe Sundo. Sundo was a G rank. He would probably still have weak DPS. Yeah, 250. Okay, 28 bill. I just forgot short-term memory loss kicking in. Get some gems from that. I'll wait for this guy to respawn. Or just go to another one. Go to another one. Alright, just go back to my comparing. This guy right here. Level wise, doesn't matter. G rank. Max level. 38.88 bill. Still technically better than these hand soldiers. But let's say we had gone over here and we somehow, some way got a G rank Vermilion. So let's put him as G rank and then max his level out. That right there is some goated damage. Now if we could just get lucky and be able to get damage off, we can get this guy, a Biru. We'll do a lot more damage than this guy, especially if you got him G rank. You got him G rank, he'd do like 4 or 5 trillion, something like that, right? It's pretty neat. But this guy G rank, max level, 287 bill. Basically, if I can get anybody that's reasonable level, or specifically just like a grass village one, and let's say I pull the G rank for the strongest guy there, and max level him, he would do 497 bill. And that would give us enough DPS to move all the way to maybe like the second to last area. So the one after Clover Kingdom and farm there for some money. But those weapons there, still pretty solid. Let's try a different strategy here. Let me go all the way over to the last island, just to check something. But we're gonna see how much, or if we can bleach off from anybody there, or get somebody to assist us there by simply just doing enough damage, however much damage that might be, to an enemy there and having somebody kill it. Because if we can get one registered kill on this island, and that gives us cash, it'd be a solid amount of cash. And we could use that to buy a better weapon. Probably better than the majority of our units. And we use that better weapon to rinse and repeat. That's kind of what happens. They get an even better weapon, better than our entire team. Also interested in figuring out where this portal is that just said spawned. An A rank. Oh, Morty rune. Twin runic blades. Twin jeweled rods. Yeah. Those are probably solid, I think. But we can't do that. We're too weak sauce. Way too weak sauce. We couldn't even kill one enemy in that dungeon. In a whole 15 minutes we'd be in there, we wouldn't be able to kill one. But these weapons is what I'm referring to. These weapons are strong. Look at that, 256 billion. That right there, big damage. 300 trillion. Now if we go based off from, not even based off from boss, this isn't a boss. Only easy thing to leech off from here would be this guy. But even then, our damage output's not good enough. For this guy here, he's the strongest variant here as well as brute form. He needs you to do around 500 trillion damage done to him, and then when somebody kills him, he will die, and he will give you roughly 20 trillion cash without the double XP game pass. Or not double XP, double cash game pass, and 40 trillion with the double cash game pass. But right now, we're really lacking. Right now we're relying solely on any potential dungeons we can get our hands on, which isn't a lot. Let's see. ED, yeah, we lack a lot of units to even make like an SS of this guy. Would do like 80 billion. He's a good damage increase. I'm trying to just scout my inventory for any potential damage increases. He's weak. All these guys weak. There's not a whole lot I can do right now. Let's say I go to another area. We'll go to the second strongest island. I will see roughly the health and gauge based off that, how much damage I need to do there. Or you can just take advantage of people's generosity. We might be able to make some strides in progression. Let's see here. Now we don't do a whole lot. We're really banking on potentially being able to do enough damage to anything here for some cash, as well as getting enough damage in to a king ant that spawns in, so that I can potentially arise it. And after we arise it, we can move straight up to the second to last area with just one unit alone. That's 4 billion damage per hit. Still not a whole lot. 8 billion damage per hit. Still not necessarily a whole lot. But let's see what these boss variants have health-wise. We're gonna treat this like the Ant King. We're gonna go to a stronger variant though. We want more cash. Iga. He is the strongest guy here. Now, staring at his health bar is just gonna be demoralizing. What we want to look at is our damage done. We need to do, if he's got same amount of health as her, like 1.8 or something like that, right? We need to do, based off in Biru, we'll just call it like another 25 trillion. We'll think of it as Biru. I believe bosses scale based off from, no, bosses, yeah, but they have a different scaling than regular NPCs in terms of required damage done to receive a reward and have a chance to arise. And that required damage for regular NPCs is, I think, 10% health done for regular NPCs, and then for boss variants like these guys, like these brutes, you only need to do 1% of their total health to get a reward. Or something similar to that. Something like that. We'll call it like 25 trill. This is fully guesstimate. This is, yeah, just a full guess. Yeah, I'll whip out a browser here. I'll whip out a calculator. We'll see. We'll call it 2QA. I'll mind the villager noises. No. What's 2% of 2QA? I don't know. So let's first figure out a way to calculate this. We'll call 2QA just 2 in general. It's 2% of 2. 2% of 2 is 0. No, that's 2%. We need 1%. 1% of 2. 1% of 2 is 0.02. 0.02 of QA would be 20 trillion. Going by that math, we would only need to be doing roughly 18 trillion to him. Now, if it is 10x that, let's say it's 10%, because brutes don't count as bosses for whatever reason, you would need to do 180 trillion damage, which we're already getting there. But for testing purposes, let's see if I can get anybody to kill Ika and go based off of that. If not, I'll literally bring my ult in here for a small period of time. Not to carry myself, but just to test. Then I'll fully go back to playing as a normal player with no secondary account to carry himself with. And just take advantage of people's generosity. Excuse me. Holy shit. I swear I've got a sensitive ass nose. I sneeze a lot more than I think anybody else does. Especially when I'm working. I think certain things just rub my nose in the wrong way. Get me sneezing. Alright, I plugged in my phone. Let's see if this guy is AFK or actually here. We'll just go based off his display. Is that I or an M? We'll call it an L. Oh no, M. I or L. Let's see if I can take advantage of the top dude in the server. I don't know if Ron can do it, but we'll see. We'll move to a more populated server after I finish my test here. Maybe we'll ask in Discord too. I'll ask in Discord. See if anybody can give me a percentage breakdown. We'll go to questions. It's hard to get an answer here, but I shall see. How much damage does one need to do to a brute? How much damage does one need to do to a brute to get rewards? We will also whip out the Trello. While I'm just sitting here doing damage, I shall also whip out the Trello. It depends of the questions. They actually provide quite a lot of information. For your damage boost, right here. This is useful information. At E rank, you get a 5% damage boost. At D rank, you get a 10% damage boost. C rank, 15%. B rank, 20%. A rank, 25%. S rank, 30%. SS, 60%. And G rank, 100. And oh, they even provide enchantment information. This is actually intriguing. I will also read off what I'm seeing. Each level increased damage by 33% on the sharpness. Yeah, okay. Level 8, 987% more damage. That's nice. Well, Royal Enchantment increases critical hit chance by 2% per level. Base critical chance is 3%, so level 7 is plus 17% critical chance. Whatever. Loot incremental. Increases dust drop rate by 30% per level. That could be pretty useful if you think about it. I don't know what the max level for an incremental is. Loot enchantment. What am I talking about? Incremental. I think it's like level 3. We're gonna go with that. So like 90% drop rate. So if you're farming dust in dungeons, like if we want rare dust for the new meta, you could get a lot of rare dust. 90% chance per kill. If you run that dungeon back to back, you could get a lot of rare dust, especially if it's like solo level 1 and it's that small dungeon, like the subways. Very nice. Vorpal and aspect enchantment. Causes your weapon to deal second hit after 0.2 seconds. Second hit scales with level and stacks with critical hits. So if it's level 4, 132% of base damage. Guild building, rank up, position rank. Rank and upgrade is plus 5% shadow damage per rank. Map vault dungeons. How to merge shadows. Queen's S rank. Level caps. Oh, another more useful information. You gain more tickets from dungeon clears based off from your rank. That's pretty useful. So if you're a E rank, you're only gonna get 1 ticket per clear, supposedly. That's quite interesting. Alright, let's see if these guys let me damage. Alright, let's see. I see a bunch of people going there, so it's very unlikely they will listen. But we shall see, because we don't really have there's not really much other methods I can use to really give me a big damage boost. Because right now, I don't do a lot of damage. You know, everybody here is gonna do a shit ton of damage. So the chances that they even get off and just let me do damage very low. I don't do a lot of damage. Look at tops 150 DPS, 150 build DPS. I need to do 25 trillion. Look at how much damage I've done in the time I've already been here. Only 2.8, right? I need to do 25. These guys can potentially just one shot. I can't do 25 trillion in one shot. So it's about to be a disappointment. Yeah, look at that. They're not gonna let me have it. Damn. Alrighty then. I see. They ain't gonna let me get any damage increase. The only strategy I could recommend now to try to get Ant King with how people are acting currently is to not a very good option, but look for a server with maybe one person in it. So just sort list by Ascendant, and then exclude full servers. Not that that matters that much, but sort it by that. You'll see servers with just one person in it. Join it and try to do damage. Now that's a bad method for 2 reasons. You've still gotta kill the Ant Queen by yourself. That requires some good damage, so you're probably gonna need a friend. And then you've also got to hope nobody else joins. What I mean by that is, you're joining a public server. You're joining a low count server during the raid time. People are likely going to be doing the same thing you are to look for these Ant Kings, but they're going to be way stronger than you, and they're going to kill it before you can even get a chance to damage it. So that method is very much unlikely to work. The second method's still going to require you to kill the queen by yourself, and that is to get a private server. Either, you know, buy it on your own, free to play. Or free to play, go to Discord, go to Game Grind, scroll extremely far up into the really old chats, look for those private server links, and join up on the ones way up the chat, maybe all the way from yesterday potentially, and see if anybody's actively in them. If nobody's actively in those servers, you then make sure you save that link by copying it. Do your damage to the king once you kill the Ant Queen, assuming you can. If not, try to get somebody to party up with in the chat. Look in the chat, search general chat, ask anywhere for some assistance from anybody. Ask for, you know, a potential carry just to get you that Ant King. Just be like, I need damage on the Ant King, you know, I don't do a lot of damage, I need somebody to help me kill the queen and then let me do damage on the king and kill it for me because I am weak and in need of help. So you're gonna want to say something along the lines of that. Once you get said person to agree to helping you, probably won't have a private server, but if he does, you can use his. But if he doesn't, hook him up with the private server link that you just stole and join that private server before the raid starts, because it's important to note the raid will not start in a server if it is not active. If you join after the raid has already started and if there's nobody else on that server, the island's not even going to be there. Like, the island symbol's not going to be there, the king's not going to be there, the queen's not going to spawn in, the ants aren't going to spawn in because you weren't there before the raid, so it didn't activate in that server. So you want to join before then. And you're going to go on over there, kill the queen with your assistant or by yourself, depending on if you're strong enough to do so without help. And do your damage to the king, and then just simply put the link in chat and be like, you know, hey, fresh king, you know, join up. and I guarantee you your server will fill really fast, or at least get 1 or 2 people, which is still enough to kill that extremely fast, if not one shot, depending on how good they are. And then you just hope you get a rise. You hope you arise yourself an 8 king. And then you rinse and repeat until you're strong enough to do it on your own. You don't need a full team of 8 kings. You really don't. So once you get like 1 or 2, just go to the second to last, maybe last island, depending on how strong you are, and get a weapon from that shop, any of the weapon shops at the second to last or last island, to get some damage up, probably the last island. So you can get any of the weapons from the last island, even if it's the weakest one, and you can get an enchant on that said weapon, and it ends up being sharpness or anything decent like that. You'll probably be able to solo the Ant King. Now what you could do from there is you could keep jumping in the raids while they pop up for the Ant King. And then you can also start farming money on the second to last or last island, fully depending on how strong you are, and get them better weapons. Because as I've explained, shadows hold but a simple candlelight to a goddamn flamethrower when it comes to weapons. Weapons do so much more damage than shadows now in the last area that shadows will become utterly pointless once you get said weapons. And then you'll be fully focused in on getting stronger weapons. Because if you wanted a stronger shadow, you'd need a shadow that's probably anything from these two, right? Even if you got this guy and you got him SS rank, he's not going to do that much damage. So you'll mainly be relying on the blue raids and crossing your fingers that you get that G rank variant of him, if you even arise him. And that alone will only be probably around 4 trillion damage, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, depending on your rank. And you're just gonna use him to farm more money, because none of those shadows are gonna make that much difference. The only shadow in the game right now that might do okay damage in comparison to the strongest weapon you have access to is probably gonna be from the very last dungeon. And to get an E rank to spawn of this is another thing. To be able to clear it on your own is also a whole entire other thing, because everything there is going to have QA health, as much as an Ant King. Probably stuff that also has more than an Ant King, for sure, by a lot, especially the boss. So you'll probably ask for assistance. You'll need some assistance in clearing said dungeon. Because even I am like main, which you guys have not seen, but my main wouldn't probably be able to clear it. I mean, if it's E rank, it's a chance. C rank, I could potentially clear it. So you're probably gonna need some help. And help from people that are stronger than you, because you don't want somebody joining who's doing less damage than you when you yourself are already weak. You need some people there. Maybe a full team. Like the lowest bare bones I could recommend is you potentially doing like 5 trillion damage or something. Get like a C rank weapon. It's a lot of money. I got a statistically list pulled up here. Where is it? I go here, go to my DMs because I sent an image to one of my friends on this. You want a C rank? That is 11.97 QA cash total. So what that is a lot of money. The perspective is the roots of the strongest guy on the last island, which mind you has like average of 11 to 12 QA health. You only need to do 500 trillion to get the cash reward from it. But that guy, will give you 40 trillion cash per kill. 40 trillion cash is not a lot of cash, but it's the only thing you can rely on. You're gonna need to kill him a boatload of times, or her, it's a female character. Kill her a whole lot of times until you get that money, that C rank, and you get yourself a weapon, that C rank weapon. And if you enchant that and you get sharpness 8, the preferred easy enchant to get on, you don't need to go greedy or not, especially since how much dust that costs to reroll. Gets a decent sharpness enchant and you do like, if you could manage to push out around 500 trillion DPS, that should be enough for you to be able to leech off from everybody else. You leech off everybody else, maybe have the rest of them all do like at least 1 QA damage, you might be able to clear that E rank dungeon pretty smoothly. But those are just the bare requirements. You need a lot of stuff for that. So you're basically just going to be looking for a generous dude in the Discord server that does good damage. Maybe like anything like a little bit above or around 5 QA. And you might be able to just leech off from him. Have him kill everything for you. And try to get some units in there. Although they're mid, you'll be reliant fully on weapons. But that's kind of what you're also there for, is shadows. I am not entirely positive on how much damage base the last unit does. He might do a couple chill for sure. At S rank, he might only do like 500 billion. So you'd need to clear a lot of dungeons. So effectively, if you think about it at the long run, it's not gonna give you a whole lot of anything. But here's the important thing here. Like I said, weapons. Weapons are goated, yes. Weapons do a very large amount of damage. I was just scrolling through Discord, and I was scrolling through the Roblox Arise Crossover Discord server, and I was scrolling through the questions pinned messages. If you go to pinned messages, you will see the twin runic blades. That is the new legendary sword for the new dungeon. That new legendary sword at C rank, I don't know if you can get it at E rank, but at C rank, because I'm not seeing anything above C rank listens, so maybe you can't even obtain a D rank. That's fine. That's even better. This weapon does 1.09 QA damage, and I think that's with the buff. But even then, that one weapon will give you a big boost. Big boost. I don't know if you can pull higher than that, just base chances without merging, but legendary weapon, it's goated stuff. You'll probably get majority of your dust from AFKing, which I recommend doing if you're not AFKing money. Just go to the AFK world to get dust. You can just leave a phone. You could plug in your phone, assuming it's not gonna set on fire. Mine hasn't yet. Plug in your phone, boot up Roblox, boot up Arise Crossover, and go into the AFK world. You don't have to leave no special auto clicker or anything like that on. And you just simply set your phone down while it's plugged into the charger and go to sleep. This is what I've done. I've done it multiple times. It's very nice. And it'll get you a lot of dust. It can get you a couple hundred dust depending on how long you're sleeping. You can also get legendary dust and stuff there. You won't get that much legendary dust, but it's very nice. Now, you use that dust to get sharpness enchant. You want sharpness. Sharpness is very much nice. It's gonna carry your weapon damage as well as your whole team because, like I mentioned, weapons OP, shadows garbage. Now, who knows? Maybe you'll do all these dungeons, and maybe you'll even arise the boss, assuming you can do enough damage. And that maybe they'll rework the shadows, and that boss will do a lot more damage. But for the moment, that weapon is going to be very nice. You keep clearing those low level, not low level, but low rank dungeons of the last area, and you pull that weapon multiple times, you rank it up. That right there is going to carry you through majority of the game. You get enough to merge, carrying you even further. And I recommend you be mindful of your dust. If you don't have enough dust to do a whole lot of enchants, kind of just settle with whatever you can get that's decent. Because if you are going to be consistently jumping into those dungeons and grinding those dungeons, you're going to want to have dust for when you finally are able to rank up your weapon. Because when you rank up your weapon in this game, and you merge 3 of them together to make a higher rank, it gets rid of the enchant. That's how it is. It's unfortunate, but that's how that works. So you're gonna want enough dust to re-enchant it after you rank it up. Cause that bad boy right there is gonna do a lot of damage. Now for perspective, let's see. What does an SS rank twin runic blades do? Oh, can't even get one, I don't think. Maybe you can. Maybe you can't, but the tips, the pinned messages can be vague. Some of the information can be very vague. Leave you very curious. Let's say you had an S rank of it and you got sharpness 8. Or, yeah, sharpness 8. And you were SS rank. That bad boy would do 8.4 QA damage. That's a lot of damage. That right there, you can be carrying your whole team. With that kind of damage, you might be able to participate in some of the higher rank versions of that dungeon. And by higher rank, I mean like anything like probably A and up. But it's very nice. The strongest shadows in the game. The strongest shadows are Golean. So right off the rip, you could get a stronger shadow than the Ant King. He gets outdone by Golean, which is Jolene. I don't remember the names like that for shoujo characters. Time King. Time King's a lot more harder to get because he's an actual boss enemy. He's in a Lucky Kingdom. And Gosuke or whatever, who the hell ever that is. That's their non-copyright name. Those will do more than Ant King. So we're just gonna focus in on Golean as shadow-wise. And Golean is probably gonna do a good amount. I'm assuming this is base numbers. So she'll probably do like 400 billion at SS rank. Assuming, no, you're not gonna be able to clear it. I'm not actually aware of how much DPS requirement you would need, but assuming a SS rank portal popped up in the first, or not the first, but the strongest island, or the second strongest island, and it was a red portal, if you were somehow even able just to be able to not kill the boss, but do decent enough damage to kill off more than a couple of those start enemies, like the non-bosses, there is a good chance you could arise a G rank. Those G ranks will do a lot of damage for you. They really will. Because they have a lot higher level cap. They have 250 level cap. You might even be able to get them to do like a trillion damage. That's a lot for shadow perspective. So it's really it really is just feeling like weapons are the only good thing to waste your time in. Let's go back to pinned messages. Let's see how the twin runic blades compare in damage to the weapon you can just simply buy up in the weapon shop. SS rank scythe costs you 969 QA cash. It's a lot of cash. But that SS rank scythe shit. Would do 660 trillion without a damage, or not damage, without an enchantment. So let's take this number here. Where is it? $616, copy, and let's multiply that by the how long to take to craft. More interesting statistics, I won't look at those just yet. I will focus on what I was on right now. Okay, here we go. 987%, so 616 times the 987%. 6 QA. That's how much damage per swing your weapon would be doing. 6 QA damage your scythe if it was SS rank. That's pretty neat. That's kind of like the end. So I guess in the long run, twin runic blades, the dungeon weapon, it's gonna be something you're gonna be end up farming until the next update, assuming you make it to endgame before the next update. Which they made it to take a reasonable amount of time. See if I can decipher this kill time. Alright, Reaper Scythe price and how long it takes to craft. The enemy used as an example is the Jolene Brute. Okay. SS. You would need to kill the SS, or not SS. You would need to kill Jolene, the current strongest regular enemy, not regular enemy, but yeah, I guess strongest regular enemy that spawns in the brute variant. So the strongest enemy you can fight in the base world, not dungeons or anything. You would need to kill her 24,239 times with the 2x cash game pass. So that would take you 141.39 hours. Now that right there is some absurd amount of time to be in the game. So that's kind of something you'd be AFKing rather than actively doing. So once you start making it towards that end game part, you're no longer going to be wanting to actually pay attention to the game, as they're not going to give you a whole lot. They're just going to have you AFK for very long periods of time over and over and over again. But I'm going to utilize this strategy. Let's jump to present. This is gonna be a very wacky question to ask in the Discord server questions comparison to what everybody else is asking for. Very wacky. We're gonna look for a 200 billion DPS farm. We'll see what we can get our hands on. Now, this is gonna be a very broad window. Not gonna be a whole lot. I don't even know if I'll be able to get anybody to respond. Low DPS cash server. Alright, let's see this. You're not seeing my screen. You're seeing my game screen, but you're not seeing this screen. This guy right here says DM for low DPS cash server. We're gonna ask him how low DPS. I do enough. I do 200 bill DPS. Alright. We're gonna see if there is anything he's farming that I could actually leech off from with my low DPS. Message requests. I have 300 billion DPS. Alright, look, it's working, guys. You want a farm? Hell yeah. We gotta start the farming, buddy. We're gonna be going places now. I'm gonna just take it and paste my name. It's very exciting. I'm surprised I got anybody to respond. But we're gonna be able to do something. We have no dust. Dust would make a big difference. Requests. We're gonna keep an eye out for requests. Because we're about to receive one. I am impatiently waiting for a active friend request. Refresh. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. I am not getting any response. Hopefully this person is actually interested in grinding. He's not trolling. We shall see though. Still waiting on a response. Jom. Yes. Yeah. That's him. We got an assistant. We shall demonic sneak. Drums. It's just buddy's struggling to speak in here. Nippon. It's just Nippon City. Yeah, let's see. What is this gonna grind? Okay. We're gonna farm the Heaven NPC. We'll leave that big brute alone. Maybe somebody will come along that'll kill it. You know, I'm surprised with his only 100 billion more DPS. He managed to supposedly clear the A rank up challenge. That's nice. Let's see what he's got shadow wise. Gotta compare. He's also rocking the full SS Ant Soldier team. So what's weapons? What are you planning to do to progress? Let's do raids in four. Dustin tickets. Gog. Okay. I'm gonna try to Arise it just for the heck of it. No Arise. You check this weapon shop. I still can't afford any of that. That's gonna take a little bit. We're gonna. I really have to rely on these raids. We really need a damage up. I'm doing the same. And go figures. There's not much else you can do at the current stage that I'm at. Juju. He's about to explain the whole thing I just experienced. People one shot. As I can't kill a queen myself. Yeah. Makes sense. Then they just kill a king without me doing enough damage. Yeah, figures. Yeah, this is the current state of the game. You just you really just get bullied because everybody's so strong. They're just gonna one-shot your damn king. They're not gonna let you do the damage. So you're kind of just cooked. This dude's already got more tickets than I do. I got auto click and 2x money. This dude's doing a lot better than where I'm at currently. A 31 billion damage. That's a lot of damage. We just need dust. But we currently have no dust. Lucky and sharp. See, this guy now, it just feels like he's flexing on me. But we'll pretend we're not salty that we don't have the same sort of luck per se. The last time I played on this account, I was getting screwed over by the dungeon RNG. There was just bad dungeon RNG, man. Just consistently dungeons I had no chance of clearing. And now that they've added even more islands, it's even higher of a chance it's just gonna be a dungeon I can't possibly imagine myself clearing. But the plan is I have, as you see, I have solo runes, yeah? So what that means is when a SS rank dungeon appears, and it's a red dungeon especially, and it pops up in any of the areas we're not strong enough to do anywhere near enough damage to even arise something there if somebody killed it for us. We're gonna use that solo level rune to change some of the enemies to solo level 1 enemies, and hope within the enemies we have available to fight, we arise one, and it arises as a G rank. If it arises as a G rank, big damage. Big damage. I show you. Say we got this guy, and we got him to arise as a G rank. G rank. We'll put full up G. I don't know if that does any difference. No, same thing. Alright, and then we'll max him out. 287. You see that damage difference? It's effectively adding another 0 to our current DPS on our units. Oh, I didn't even put my units back on here. I'm so used to playing on my main, which I have auto attack on. Probably didn't contribute enough. That's my bad on that moment. We have approximately 6 minutes until dungeon appears, and then another 15 after those 21 minutes until the raid on Juju Island starts. So that's what we're banking on and hoping for. Is just those specific dungeons, or not dungeons, specific things like raids and no other things. Well, let's do another free-to-play method. If I go to Anime Crossover, or Anime Arise Crossovers, and I go to announcements, I am really clear that I made about a code issue. So a way of apologizing is I will give you the code for Bureau, but it'll have a requirement for use. To control this much power, you need an S rank, so train to become strong to control this data. Please note that there will be 2 codes this week, so be prepared. Thank you for looking for codes. So this week, there will be 2 codes that pop up, assuming the Discord server is gonna hold up to their poll that they made for asking people if they should release a G rank bureau code. That poll was an overwhelming yes. So if they release said code, if you become S rank based off what I just read, and you redeem that code, you will get a G-rank computer. G-rank computer would give you probably around 4 trillion, something like that, damage. Good stuff right there. But right now I don't do enough damage. Kinda need this ant soldier to level up. Arise. Nothing. We need more damage. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We need like a lot more damage than what we currently have. Guild. Let's see if I can get myself into a guild. But I'm not too exactly aware of what the guild might benefit us. In what way would the guild benefit us? Guilds questions? Yeah, it's asking questions. What do guilds do? What do guilds do, man? Never mind. This dude's trolling people. I didn't get no response to my question, but I am seeing a lot of people troll. Nice, the free cone is code green. Let's try it. Let's fall for the troll, why don't we? I'm not S-rank, but let's give it a try. Where are codes? All caps. Free Voodoo. This code does not exist. Buddy's hitting us with the Photoshop of a screenshot of Twitter. April Fools, yep. April Fools indeed. That's all you get. Yeah. What? You can get G-rank weapons. It's not any of those. You just asked for grass or solo level one. Let's see. The Discord. Game Dungeons. A rank. No. It's not Nippon, it's in Nori. That's an old post. 702, not 633. I shall wait for a picture and rank portal to pop up in Discord notifications. And go based off from that. Gang grind. You know, I got kicked from my own guild. Or not my own guild, but my... Yeah, something like that. Kicked from the guild I was in. I was waiting for them to, you know, actually make a guild in the game. But I was in a Discord server. And I got kicked from it. I got kicked from it or they deleted it. One of the two. Bizarre. So I'm gonna have to find a new one. Because I have no idea what this does for me. Contribute to the guild vault and climb 30 boards, level up your guild and unlock powerful new perks. Alright, so we're gonna need to join a guild. Let's try to find a guild for low DPS. If you go to Discord, you go to this server for said game and you go to exclusive grind, you'll find people potentially posting guilds. Money farm, high DPS, money grind, nope. I'm going to find a method here. Join me, factor hunt on public server, yeah, okay, DM me if you want to grind, jams 24/7, requirement instant destroy. Join fast. Okay. I'm not seeing any guilds. Okay, so we're gonna look for another channel in here, potentially giveaway supports team moves. No. We're gonna look for anybody's guild. We'll look in general chat. We'll just type in our shit. Can I join anyone's guild? I do 200 DPS. Well, no, this is a hallelujah. We're just gonna praise the Lord that somebody responds to me or messages me with a offer to join said guild. Shrink. So maybe I rephrase that. I do not see any responses. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna say the exact same thing, but instead say DM me if I can, or something random. And now we're gonna go back to the game dungeons. Dude, it's 7:06, and they still have yet to tell the rank of some stuff. I am not really helping this dude. see if doesn't let you say Discord. I'll just say I'm looking for a guild. If it'll let me say that. Yeah. Let's go back to looking for stuff. No update on that. No direct messages. It's hard. Yeah. Big brain tip for anybody who's watching. Let's say you crack open a can of Mountain Dew and take a few sips and then fall asleep. And then you're up for like another 8 hours after you wake up. Don't go grab that open can of Mountain Dew that you've left in your room temperature ass room and start drinking on it. This shit does not taste good. It went flat and it's got a weird flavor. So, I wouldn't recommend. I'd just crack open a fresh one if you have one and drink that instead. It's like cracking open if you ever crack open a can of soda and you don't want to finish it, don't put it in the fridge and come back and drink it the next day. That shit's nasty. The flavor, the best way to put it is the flavor of the can really leaches into the flavor of the soda, and then you start tasting that weird metal flavor in your soda when you're drinking it. It's nasty. Would not recommend. It's worse than drinking diet soda by a large amount. Very nasty. Man. Ooh. Oh man. Shit, I might need to go check the dungeon. I need to go check myself. Just to see. Bit impatient here. After Discord. Still nothing. Okay then. This is once this guy dies, I'm gonna go check. There's not much entertainment that can be done here. I'll wait and say we'll just talk and discuss more about the game. Questions? No response. We'll go back to general chat and we will keep posting that same dang thing. Announcements. General. Alright. Let's see, still nothing in the dungeons. Alright, I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go check this shit. Make sure my spawn's set. Let me go check this island. I see a big red portal, and it's an SS rank. Gonna have to just use a rune and straight send it. Blue portal and S rank. Not what I'm looking for. Oh, we got the raid in 3 minutes. Yuck. Yucca. Shadows. I am with no shadows. No tickets for hey, really, man. Tried to capture the wild mode. Oh, wow. Okay. Can I get any weapons? He's not going anywhere, so let me just 840 for how much again? Like damage wise? 4 billion? He does 31 billion with his assuming 10x damage. Could do up to 80 billion if I enchanted it with the dust I don't have. It's kind of a very sad grind. Because you're fully relying on RNG. That's no cap either, man. Fully and solely RNG based. So my tip to you during this 2 times Zudo event, as it's called, is to whatchamacallit, AFK. Go into the AFK chamber when you're going off to school, going to sleep, whatever it might be, and sit in there, because you have a 0.2% chance every, I think maybe it's like 5 minutes, you get a reward, and you have a 0.2% chance that reward is a G rank Biru who will do 4 trillion at max level. He will be your saving grace and allow you to make progression, because with him and the Discord server combined, you could jump straight to Golin, who was on the last island, to root for him, and find a low DPS server to grind with people on Golin and get cash from her to buy the new weapons, which are your key to endgame. What's the strategy here? I don't think this guy is ready for whatever he's trying to do. Assuming we do this solely by ourselves, it might be rough. Do I bring in the secret support to ease suffering? I don't feel like looking for friends, so I bring in the secret the secret third, the main. I'm bringing help. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to. Hmm. Hmm. Don't. This dude does not know who the help is. Lol, obey. Ah, shit. I tried the other SS. The other SS. That is damage. Bodies. I'm gonna start a repeat. Same. Bags. This is. And this one. Huh. Okay. Here. Leave my phone then. I don't need my ult. Okay. I need S rank dungeons so bad. Tickets. I need instant destroy. I've done my damage, but I'm not gonna say anything. Well, I will, I guess. If it's its friend. Go now. Kill. Ah! Malls. Bro got it first try. My luck is just tragic. Tragic. Shit. Factual? I'm gonna get carried now. How about that? We grind it together, right? But man, of course, you know, doesn't matter if that's a 5x. I know Arise. Arise chance non-existent. That's all I gotta say. The chances of me rising, unlikely. Oh, dude, they make it so long. I've gotta wait like another hour effectively until the next one. 8 minutes until the raid. Okay, I had to plug in my stuff. There's not a lot I can do. There really is not a lot. The dungeon that spawned was bad before because I can't do a freebooty, yes. I need double cash. Let's assume that's 4 times 30. Our damage would be 120. We'll call it 110. A sharpness 8 of the weakest weapon here would actually do some good damage. It would do pretty much. It'd pretty much double our DPS. I might just need to rank up, maybe. But can I rank up? When I last went in there, I don't know how the heck I'm supposed to rank up. I'm doing exactly 300 billion now. I don't think I could do it. I really don't. Yeah. Open. Yeah. No. You need sharpness 8. You need sharpness 8, you say? Kid, bro, this dude needs he got his yep, man. 1 QA, I do 75 million. Just gotta stay quiet. That immediate 1-up he's gotta do for no apparent reason. Arbity. I'm assuming, based off from information provided, I am no longer going to have a grinding partner. I think it's just solely gonna be me, myself, and I grinding this first area NPC in hopes. In hopes I could get another weapon and do something with that weapon. Trying to think here. A double dungeon. If I could somehow get an SS rank solo level and double dungeon to spawn, or rum, there is hope. A red SS. That is extremely rare. But if the cards are looking down, that'll be the way, the one and only way for me to progress at an extreme pace is if an SS rank red portal spawns. That is a double dungeon, it's a level 1. And then there's another big hope. I would also have to arise an SS rank or higher of your boy Sanjinu the Shadow Monarch. Trying to think. I don't know what I can do right now. I think when I end stream, in order to make any progress, I will launch up this account on my old phone, boot it into the AFK world, and just AFK in hopes I get a G rank Voodoo, or at least dust, because I'm not going to be able to do anything. I'll wait for this next dungeon. This will determine the length of the stream. What the hell is this? Why are you sending weird shit in the general chat? It's a capybara is sitting in a puddle of his own shit. Some weird ass shit. Quite literally. Quite literally some weird ass shit, man. S rank. Tragic. Here's what I shall do. I will bring my account in for one last time on the side. And I will kill this NPC right here. And hope that my damage I did earlier was enough and carried over. And hope he gives me a decent amount of money. There's nothing else I can really hope for here. Alright, here we go. It was enough. I would leave. You did not see that account. It's gone. It's gone. It was Magic Man. He pulled up. He heard my calls for help. And just for whatever reason showed up in this random ass server and assisted me. Alright. Let's see what I can do with this weapon. Wow. Hey, I got a new weapon. What's my DPS just with this weapon alone? Mid as hell, man. What the heck? DPS is bad. Alright, I think for grinding purposes, might just need end stream. Because for me to make any sort of progress, I would need to sit here for many hours, banking off people helping me with the Bidu raid and let me get the damage in. I'm hoping I get Bidu. Or I would have to AFK here for a very long time and hope to get decent amount of cash by killing a PC with an auto clicker. So what I shall do is quite simply just go into the AFK world. Can't do anything else. I'm too weak to do anything else. AFK world is where I'm going. I'll show you what it is and then I'll just end the stream and pop it up on my phone. Look at this. Gems, powder. Don't care about that. Tickets, you don't really get them often. 2,000 gems, pointless. They should just remove gems from the rewards in general. Rare powder, 20 rare powder. Need that. Tickets, legendary powder, tiger, twin prison blades. These are cosmetic, and the most importantly, Bidu G rank. This guy right here will quite literally make up for the skill issue that I have currently. He will be the saving grace. But until then, don't expect a stream for this specific game. For this specific account, that is. But that's it. There's not really anybody to say goodbye to here, so goodbye to myself. See y'all.